What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to your economic update for Thursday, June 16th. So here's what's happening. There's a lot of pain that's coming, and it's going to come very quickly. According to many reports, Americans are not ready for this big change and want to address what that change is and why so many people are going to struggle. But first, I want to just spend a moment and talk about what the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell said yesterday. Now, he had a bunch of stuff to say, but he made one statement that really stood out, and I want to address what that was. And he made it very clear that the Fed is not trying to induce a recession, that they want to achieve 2% inflation that is consistent with a strong labor market. Now, that's good, right? Yes. That is very good, but we also saw numbers that came out today that tells us otherwise. Here's the problem. Yes, the Federal Reserve, they don't want to induce a recession, or so they say. Here's the other problem. It would make more sense to induce a recession temporarily, as long as the recession is transitory. And again, I know those aren't words that you want to hear coming out of the Federal Reserve's mouth, but that's the truth. If we can achieve 2% inflation, great. Chances are we will not be able to accomplish that. We will not be able to accomplish keeping a strong labor market, okay, and reducing inflation. According to reports, that is not going to happen. The Federal Reserve cannot do that now. They've already messed it up. Well, here's the news that came out this morning. This morning, we saw that for the second straight quarter, we will potentially have negative GDP. And this is according to the GDP Now charts. Now, granted, the negative report this morning was something like negative 0.002. That was it, but it's still negative. Okay? That's the big thing, is we've already seen a negative quarter for Q1 of 2022. And if the second quarter of 2022 is negative, we will technically be in a recession. Now, we may not be the deepest recession. It may not be the longest, but again, we will technically be in it. It could be the start, so we will see what happens there. Now, I want to talk to you about the Bloomberg economics chart as well, because according to Bloomberg Economics, they now see the probability of a recession by quarter one of 2024 to be at 71.7%. Now, I bring this up because everybody's worried about the potential recession and what that means. Again, keep in mind, a recession would mean businesses are going to stop hiring. We're going to see unemployment go up. Spending is going to go down. And ultimately, things are going to get worse. And this is what we have to be prepared for. And I want to talk about a recession because this is what has happened over the last really 3 months. The probability of recession by Q1 of 2024 is now sitting at 71.7%. You'll see headline numbers at 72% if you watch the news. This is a huge jump because in March, we were just, the Bloomberg Economics, they were reporting that we were going to be in a recession by Q1 of 2024. The probability was at 9%. 9% is jumped. It has jumped. And in April, they were reporting a 45.5% chance of recession. So obviously, things are trending in the wrong direction, which again is causing a lot of issues. Now, when it comes to a recession, again, I've said this before, businesses are going to stop hiring. You could potentially see your job go away because when businesses stop hiring to make more money, to make more profit, right? They're not looking at building. They're not looking at growth. They're just wanting to make it through the next 6 months, maybe 18 months of recession. We don't know. That's their goal. So again, keep in mind that if you are not prepared for potentially losing your job, getting your hours cut, wages reduced, then you are not preparing effectively. So make sure you do that. Make sure you have some money sitting on the side. Now, this is exactly what many analysts have been predicting as well. we're going to see a recession. One energy analyst also stated just the other day that the U.S. must get gas prices under control in order to see inflation come down. And I've been saying this for months. If gas prices surge, which I would say they're pretty much surging now. We're sitting at a little bit over $5 a gallon nationally as an average. Here's the issue. There's many expectations or many predictions that we're going to see gas peak right around that $5.50 range because it's already high. But again, people haven't started traveling yet. We don't have that priced in yet. So we could see gas prices go up even higher as people start to travel over the summer months. So again, that is something to look out for. Now, how would we get gas prices to come down? Well, according to many reports, gas prices are not just going to come down because we can increase our refining capacity. That's not going to happen. Now, could we? Yes. Is it going to bring gas prices down substantially? No. What they believe is that gas prices will not come down without a recession. And they say this because some believe that a recession is unavoidable at the moment because the only way to reduce prices on gas and energy in general is through demand destruction. Now, I want to address that. What is demand destruction? Well, demand destruction for gas is prices get so high that demand is just dead. People do not want it. People don't want to spend the money on it. The hard part with gas is that over the past 2 years, many people just haven't taken a vacation, haven't gone anywhere because of COVID. So what do? They wait and wait and wait, and now seems like the most opportune time to take a vacation. The problem there is gas prices are so high, they're like, we've been sitting at home for 2 years, it's okay, let's travel. So guess what? It doesn't matter if gas prices are $5, $6, $7 or $8 a gallon, people are still going to travel. They may not go as far, but they will still travel. So we'll see what happens there. Now, what many people believe is that demand destruction is our only option. Yesterday, President Biden, he met with Speaker Nancy Pelosi and the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer to discuss inflation. They want to discuss what their options are. And according to one White House official, they say that the leaders discussed their plans for fighting the global problem of inflation that is affecting every major economy, such as bringing down prescription drug prices and energy costs and adding to the historic deficit reduction that they've already accomplished. That's what they discussed. But again, how does this get done? That's the question. Well, according to President Biden, he wants to see the wealthy pay to bring down costs for most Americans, right? Bring down costs for prescription drugs. Bring costs down for energy, right? That's what he wants done. And then, according to Senator Joe Manchin, he wants to take half of whatever the Biden administration can get for additional revenue. He wants to take half of that and pay directly towards deficit reduction. Okay, but here's the issue. That doesn't cover all the worries around inflation. Inflation is now more than just increased prices in new and used cars, because that's what we saw in 2021. We saw new and used cars were really leading the charge with inflation. But now we're seeing inflation in automotive as well, shelter, food, energy, and so much more. Inflation is everywhere. It's not just confined to one specific thing or one specific industry. And that's what's causing a huge concern. Now, according to reports, demand destruction will work, but it's going to take some time. And according to multiple economists, the pain has yet to come. That what we've been experiencing isn't painful. You may think it is, but according to them, they say the pain hasn't even started. And they say this because of a few issues. First, Americans don't have the savings that they once had, and they will not have the backing of the federal government to give them an additional stimulus check to help them get back on their feet. We also know credit card debt is ticking up. We've heard that the Biden administration is going to forgive student loans and cancel them very soon, but that's for student loans. That's not for credit cards. So if you are just racking up your credit cards and you have no way of paying it off, the federal government is not going to come in and bail you out and pay off your credit cards. That's not what we're going to see. We also know equity in housing is falling. This is a major concern because people were using equity to pay off certain things, to go on vacations, to do renovations, right? To pay off some debts. They were turning to home equity to do this. So again, that's a major concern as well. And if you factor in, well, what if you rack up credit card debt, you have no savings, and you used, let's say, a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, to you'll pay for a renovation on your house, and now you lose your job, you have no way to pay any of those things back? Well, what do you do then? Well, this is why it's an issue. Before, it wasn't a huge problem because people could always turn to the stock market, right? They could turn to their portfolios, their 401ks. They could cash them out if they wanted to, right? But obviously the stock market hasn't been really kind to us lately. So using the stock market as more of an emergency fund is probably not the best move. Now, all this is going to make 2022, according to economists, the toughest year we have ever faced. Again, some are saying that this is going to be worse than 2008 because it's going to be everywhere. It's going to be housing. It's going to be, the financial markets, right? Our job market. It's going to be everywhere. We are going to be impacted because of this year. So we will see what happens. But as always, as I know more, I promise to come back and I'll fill you in on all latest news and updates. But again, keep in mind, according to multiple economists and experts, they say more pain is to come. So be prepared, be ready, and we will face this together.